Every time you scroll, click, or linger on a screen, you are being watched. Every pause and swipe is recorded, measured, and used to shape exactly what you will see next. The observer tracking your behavior isn't human. It cannot read your mind, and it possesses zero empathy or moral values. It is a strict mathematical recipe designed to execute a specific task. Computers use these recipes to handle massive, complex operations. They process the flight data that keeps commercial airplanes in the sky without a pilot, and they calculate minute-to-minute insulin dosages for patients with type 1 diabetes. But their most frequent job involves your attention. These calculations dictate the precise order of videos, photos, and posts shown to billions of people across social media every single day. You are operating inside a mathematical equation. To break out of the loop and take back your feed, you have to look at how the code actually works. At its core, an algorithm is simply a precise, step-by-step list of instructions used to accomplish a specific goal. Almost 4,000 years ago, King Hammurabi carved 282 rules into stone, creating an early algorithm for justice. His system used strict inputs to determine precise outputs. If the input was a stolen ox, the output was exact. The thief owed 30 times its value. The hardware has evolved from carved rock to servers and screens, but the underlying logic is identical. A system takes in data, applies a rule, and generates a result. Modern computers rely on a specific mathematical tool to make decisions, the weighted sum. To see how it works, imagine creating your own mental algorithm to adopt a dog. You narrow the choices down to a Saint Bernard, a Golden Retriever, and a Yorkshire Terrier. This table lays out the necessary inputs. You evaluate each breed, giving them a score from 1 to 3, based on their friendliness with kids, their guard dog skills, and their exercise needs. If you assign equal value to all 3 traits, multiplying each score by a weight of exactly 1, the Saint Bernard wins the calculation with a total sum of 7. But if you change a single variable and double the weight of the good with kids trait, the entire outcome shifts. The math recalculates, and the Golden Retriever jumps into the lead with a 9. The weighted sum reveals a crucial reality about algorithms. The winning result is never an objective truth. It is entirely dependent on whoever assigns the weights. Social media platforms run this exact same calculation. Instead of ranking dog breeds, they score every piece of digital content against your personal data. They build your profile by tracking your age, location, and click history. They log what you share, what you skip, and exactly how many seconds you spend looking at a specific post. This chart maps how platforms translate those actions into estimates called engagement probabilities. They calculate the exact percentage chance that you will share a video or comment on a photo. The computer multiplies those probabilities by the company's hidden weights, adding them up to generate a final score for every piece of media. The items with the highest scores get stacked at the very top of your feed. The first video you see upon opening an app is rarely the most informative or helpful. It is simply the video whose math yielded the highest probability of triggering a reaction. This creates a direct conflict of interest. You log on to find entertainment, learn a skill, or see photos of your family. The platform exists to extract your attention. The corporate incentive is purely financial. Giving you a free app ensures you are present to see advertisements from paying brands. The longer your screen time, the more ads you view, and the higher the platform's profit. This financial model manifests physically. Algorithms successfully trap millions of people in isolated, endless scrolling loops, prioritizing duration over satisfaction. Because strong human emotions guarantee higher engagement scores, the system heavily favors content that shocks, enrages, or misleads. Fake news and extreme reactions naturally dominate the weighted sum. The machine does not care if the feed leaves you feeling exhausted or nauseated. It is completely blind to your well-being, optimizing exclusively to keep your eyes on the glass. Pushing back against this system requires effort. Tech companies guard their specific equations and mathematical weights as tightly as nuclear codes, but the math has one distinct vulnerability. An algorithm is ultimately a mirror. Its calculation relies entirely on the behavioral data you feed into it. You can actively mold your own feed. Seek out and follow educational accounts that align with your actual interests, and intentionally unfollow sources that trigger stress or anger. More importantly, you can withhold your data. Leaving a negative comment on a video you despise still signals high engagement to the computer. The most effective countermeasure is total apathy. If you ignore the content completely, the math starves and the system stops serving it to you. You can physically interrupt the tracking loops by using helper apps that monitor your usage, or by activating strict time limits in your phone settings. You can also abandon massive algorithmic feeds altogether. Shift your screen time to direct subscription platforms, like independent newsletters or dedicated podcasts, where you consume media without a mathematical middleman. Ultimately, you already know how to process data. You build mental algorithms to decide where to go to college, which hobbies to pursue, and who to spend time with. Algorithms are inevitable, but if you don't intentionally weigh your own inputs and decide what matters to you, a corporate machine will gladly do the math for you.